Today's podcast is going to be short and sweet. I want to give you a couple of tips that have been working for me in terms of managing my energy and the chaos and my schedule, because let's be honest, things are not normal right now in any sense of the word, normal. So I know a lot of you are working from home. A lot of you don't have daycare. A lot of you are trying to teach your kids. A lot of us are just trying to do a whole lot of things all at the same time. And we know that we can't do 3 different roles all at the same time. So why are we trying? And it's very funny because I was thinking about this the other day, and then boom, there was like this post that popped up first thing this morning that said, hey, you can't be a full-time parent and a full-time teacher and a full-time business owner / career / whatever, work-at-home parent all at the same time. Like, it's impossible. You cannot 100% commit to each of those roles in any given time on the same day. Yet, here we are in this weird boat where society says, okay, boom, you have to figure out how to be a full-time parent and a teacher and work from home and keep your house clean and cook dinner and keep everybody alive and, stay healthy. Don't stress too much, or just don't stress at all. Like, just be fine. Everything's fine. And the truth is, nothing of that is fine. But yet we still have to manage our energy around it. Otherwise it will consume us and we can get stuck in that lack mindset, that negativity mindset. And that really gets us nowhere except for more angry, more frustrated, more fearful, more yada, yada, yada. Basically you spiral down a negative path versus like, okay, how can I manage this energy and at least try to give myself grace and just be okay with where we are at. So the first thing I want to say is you are doing just fine. Like, you are doing enough. You are doing enough. You're probably doing too much, actually. Let's be honest. We're all doing too much. So how can we just like slow the roll and just be still, be quiet, be okay? And a lot of times I share these words with you guys because this is exactly what I need to hear. I can get caught up in the hustle and bustle. You guys know this. Like, I've been working on that hustle mindset for years. Like, hustle is my go-to. Shit hits the fan. Like, I'm like, let's get to work. Let's get down and dirty. Let's make it happen. That's my go-to. So for me to sit still is actually very, very hard. I want to do all the things all at the same time, and I want to help everybody all at once. I want to be everything to everybody because that's what was quote unquote normal to me. But now it's almost like, I can't do all the things. And even though I have help, like, I have a lot of help, you guys. I don't do any of this shit myself. I don't have a housekeeper anymore. That's a long story. Basically, we'll just say that because of all the shit that's going on, I'm home more. I'll just clean my own house for the time being, I guess, which is fine. Like, it's a luxury. It's not a necessity, and that's okay. Like, I'll just cut back on it. But what I've been doing is trying to stick to a morning routine. So I'm actually working on a morning routine freebie for you guys on how I set up my morning routine and how you can set up your morning routine. Everybody's morning routine is different. But I do find that if you can manage your energy first thing in the morning, you can kind of take that energy throughout the day versus being woken up by a screaming child or woken up to, I don't know, XYZ, fill in the blank, whatever you're being woken up to that is putting you in a shitty mood, or you're like, I don't have enough time, or I want to do things for myself, but I can't, or whatever. So I want to help you set up some structure, a little bit of routine in your day, because the only thing that we can control ultimately is how we feel and how we show up every day. Everything else is basically out of our control. I mean, in a greater sense it is. Like, I can't control my kids. Yeah, I can like keep them safe and stuff, but like I can't control what she says or does. Like, I can influence her one way or another. Same with my son, same with your kids, same with insert whoever's name. Like, I don't have control over anybody. I only have control over myself. And so I find that if you can stick to a morning routine, So my daughter's crying in the background right now. This has just been my life the last 3 days. So my goal is to spend a little bit more time with them. I'm just throwing that out there. I probably need to spend more time with my kids. So throwing myself under the bus out there, saying that I've focused a lot more on work lately than I have my children, and that makes me feel really shitty. So anyways, morning routine. I usually at least get 10 minutes to myself before the kids wake up and kind of, they're with me through my morning routine. So find out what works for you, whether that's, I don't know, it could be meditation, journaling, reading, any of that stuff, right? And then simple multitasking. Like, let's be honest, if you can avoid multitasking, please do, because it's really hard to multitask effectively, but yet here we are multitasking. So if you need to fold the laundry while your kids eat breakfast, then do it. If you need to take a quick phone call for work while your kids watch some cartoons, do it. Like, you have to find what works for you and just be okay with it. I mean, don't do it all day long where you're just like, here kids, play on this computer while mommy does work all day. This, for me, that's not okay. You do you, but I don't know. I'm trying to find this quote unquote balance. So what I found to be effective for me in this moment could change, but that's just the beauty of life, right? Things change that we have no control over. So right now what I'm doing is I will break up my day into like 1 or 2 hour blocks, time blocks. And what that looks like is, like in the morning, I'll spend about an hour on my own self-care, my morning routine, things like meditation, journaling, yoga, whatever else works, right? I'll do a little bit of chores in there too. So I'll time block, do a little bit of chores, and I literally will set timers on my phone. If you've ever been around me, you will know that I have timers go off on my phone all day long. Otherwise, I will multitask and literally get nothing done, because I'll be like, I'll do a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and a little bit there. Nope. You're going to work 30 minutes on the dishes. You're going to work 30 minutes on laundry. You're going to work 30 minutes on work. You're going to work an hour on work. You're going to hang out with your kids for an hour. You're going to spend 30 minutes on lunch. And so that's what I found to be effective for me, is setting timers and really time blocking and just saying like, okay, I'm shutting off all distractions. I'm going to hang out with my kids for an hour. Okay, I'm shutting off all distractions. I'm going to be on this call for an hour. All right, I'm shutting out all of their distractions. I'm going to focus on dishes, laundry, and just cleaning and picking up my house for an hour. And this works, I'm going to say, about 90% of the time, because I have young children, and young children give no shits about your schedule or your agenda. Eventually they just adapt to it, but you have to have enough grit and determination and just keep showing up until it becomes the new norm, right? Because their schedules have been flipped upside down too, and they're just little people and they don't know how to manage their big emotions. So it's up to you to show up and teach them, hey, it's okay for things not to go as planned. We're going to start doing things this way, and just hold space for them. I tend to yell sometimes, you guys. I'm a yeller. I get angry, I get mad, and so I have to walk away and do squared breathing, which is, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. They call it box breathing or squared breathing, however you want to say it. But basically giving myself a timeout so I don't lose my shit. Because I do. I can. I have. And so in order to not lose my shit, I have to do things like morning routine, box breathing, and time blocking. So that's what's worked for me lately. Again, it's like a 90% success rate, I would say, because again, small children sometimes just don't really give a shit about what your agenda is. If they're hungry, they're hungry. They're going to scream, they're going to cry, they're going to do whatever they can to get your attention. And at some point, you just have to pick your battles, okay? But just keep showing up. Eventually, the routine will stick. And then what will happen is the world will go back to normal, and then we're going to have to find a new routine. So just know that this is very much like ebb and flow, and you just do the best you can with what you have, right? So right now, what's working for me is sticking to my morning routine. That's always worked for me. And then taking little baby timeouts for myself throughout the day, and just making sure that, my values and my priorities are being on my schedule, and my family is one of those. And I need to probably put them even more on my schedule, but, you make do with what you have. So I'm balancing between my self-care, my husband, my chores, my animals, my businesses, multiple businesses, an event, a retreat, managing a team, taking care of little children, sleep schedules. I mean, there's a lot going on. And so you just have to look at it and say like, hey, today's a new day. I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And that's all we can ask, right? So that is what I have for you today. You are doing enough. You are enough. It is okay to scale back and lower your expectations, especially during this time. We are almost home and she is ready to get out of this car. So, do you hear her? I want to get out. I want to get out too, honey. I want to get out too. All right, guys. Catch you next time.